should do the rest before the end of the night, or else they'll, won't know which ones we did.
Oh, no, it says.
It says it.
Oh, it says it, gives you battery. Oh, I'm a full charge here.
You need training for the EMS. Yeah.
All set? All right, call this meeting of the select board on 3/12 to order. We've got a quorum this evening, and Ms. Roy and Mr. Roy are excused for tonight's meeting. All right, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let's see, amendments to the agenda. We have a updated agenda here. The consent agenda, item number 8, has an appeals board appointment that was added in. We'll get to that in a little bit. Any other amendments? Oh, okay. Let's see, any public comment tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to old business. Review town meeting warrant. We won't be doing signatures until the 26th, when we have the rest of the board present. I did go through the articles myself. I didn't see anything that stuck out at me as needing changes. I don't know if any of the other board members had had a chance to review this.
I looked and I didn't see anything either.
I didn't see anything that
Yeah.
caught my eye.
Yeah, so I mean, I think this looks good, Jerry. I mean, I think we'd like the whole board here to vote on this, so if we can wait till the 26th, as it indicates here, I'm not seeing that there's any further action on this. It looks really good. I think everybody did a great job pulling this together. And certainly the budget got pulled together very nicely. I think that went through a number of chops, and so I think we're in good shape there. I don't know if anybody has anything else? Okay.
Perfect.
Great. We'll move on to new business. The Conservation Commission, Roberta Brzezinski, is here to discuss basis for municipal grant application to acquire no-match funding in support of the Durham Open Space Plan and Conservation Strategy. Roberta, you want to come on right up to the table and give it right there? That's the place. Yeah, yeah, it's got the seal of approval right there, so. Yeah, just, state name, address, and,
Yeah, okay. Roberta Brzezinski, I live on Quaker Ridge Road, and member of the Durham Conservation Commission. And we have 2 other members here, Michael Friendly and Jess Costa, our chair. So, hello.
how you doing?
So, last November, I came here to ask for approval of a resolution in order to join the Community Resilience Partnership. That resolution got passed. We became a member of the partnership, and so now we're eligible to apply for grants. That was the last step to join the partnership. And sorry, I have to read, there's no other way I can do this. So if you remember that while we had public meetings, we did surveys, we did personal interviews with people, and analysis in partnership with our service provider. So does everyone understand about the partnership? Do you need any broader perspective on where it comes from? It's the Maine Climate Council came up with the Maine Won't Wait strategy. So these grants are part of that strategy to towns. So, okay.
I'm all
I just
set.
want to make sure. So at the time the resolution was adopted, we had concluded that there was town support for some actions to increase Durham's ability to respond to extreme weather events. However, after much thought, we realized that we would need to recruit a team to carry out any plan that was funded. So that's sort of like like an emergency response type actions for extreme weather events. So that role does not intersect with the responsibilities of the Conservation Commission. And for that reason, we've switched our focus from public preparedness actions to protecting the environment actions. Everyone got the materials that were sent out that gives more justification of that. So that material describes the grant proposal. And in general, what it is we're requesting funds to hire a consultant who will develop an open space plan for Durham with public input. There'll be meetings and all. The plan would prioritize high-value areas of town for protection. So the idea being with a plan in place, the town can develop the tools to be proactive rather than reactive to development pressure in sensitive areas. And once the open space plan is drafted, it'll be presented in front of the board for adoption. And from there, it could become, if we update the comprehensive plan at some point, it could become part of the open space, part of the comprehensive plan, or it could be a standalone plan, just for planning purposes. So the grant deadline is March 29, coming right up. And if tonight you agree on the basis for the grant proposal, we'll continue to complete the application. And I believe, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, that Jerry would be able to sign the application as long as we have approval on what's prioritized. And again, of course, it's no match grant, so as far as fiscal matters, I think that should be a problem, but I really know nothing about how these things work, so correct me if I'm wrong. So if there's any questions about, I know I sent a lot of stuff. I sent the application itself, the program statement, and basically sort of laid out our ideas about how it will come about. And again, it's to hire a consultant to do the work. Any questions about the grant?
My only question would be, is it possible to get all the paperwork done in time?
It's really close. We sort of had a draft, and then we realized, we have to get, I don't know if it's called a proposal, I guess, from at least one consultant that'll go along with the grant. So I think we have that now. And we gotta work on the timeline and just the wordage, you know.
And letters from partners, potential partners, and letters from like Abershwagi Land Trust.
Yes, I think we do have a letter of support from Androscoggin Land Trust, and it seems like Royal River is on board with cooperating with us as partners. So we have to get those. I know it's really tight, and the change was really late too, because it took a while. You know, we only meet once a month, and we're talking about, you know, like, some of the things that we wanted to do. It's like, where's the team? Where's the team? I mean, I was like in panic mode, and then it evolved that, you know, we do have a mission, and this is, really will help us along a lot in just planning. I mean, you have to know what you have in order to protect, you know, not haphazardly, but in a directed way.
So you're looking to apply for the grant for, was it $50,000?
Yes,
But
50,000.
There's a line item here that the town will have to expend
Mm.
upwards of, is it $4,000?
I think that you might be.
Or is this this is the additional project budget later? It's not in conjunction with management of the 50, is it?
That's part of the 50,000.
Yeah.
That's 4,000 of the 50,000 is set aside for funding for the town.
Okay,
So that's
all right.
not-
I just, it looked like a
That's not
second.
money. That's money that comes
I
from the
see.
grant, not from
Yeah.
the town.
Okay, that's all I was double.
Administrative, that $4,000 line item is administrative, miscellaneous administrative costs.
If we needed to hire, you know.
No, that's fine. I just want,
George or someone to come for more hours. And now that we got, one proposal, it's looking like, we might not even need to do that at all.
mhm. They're gonna do all
That
that
they
for
would
you.
do-
They're gonna do all that all for you. That's good,
Yeah.
okay. So, we need to vote on this to accept the,
I would move to that we, I don't know if we accept or we allow the Conservation Committee and the town manager to apply for this, this grant.
Second that.
okay, any further discussion?
I just like that you put in that it covered all the expenses, because that was one of the
I know.
questions, and I got to that point, and it was covered, so that made it even better in my eyes, so I think it's a great idea, so thank you.
Yep. Any further discussion? No? All in favor? Okay. It's a unanimous vote.
Super, thank you so
Yeah,
much. And
no,
we'll
thank you.
update you
Keep-
further as we get the application in, and it will be down to the wire.
Yeah, keep up the good work, and yeah, if you need anything else from us, let us know.
Thank you.
Great? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next on our agenda is the review of the town meeting PowerPoint. Put this out to everybody. Jerry and I worked on this, mostly Jerry worked on it. I just came in and wordsmithed a few things. Slide presentation that we were proposing to have up to address a number of items in the budget, to address the budget first off in the town meeting. I don't know if you guys had time to review it ahead of time, but we can go through it. Basically, we start in on explaining first the overspent article from 2022, which was the fire department, and the use of the general fund to cover that $3,235 that we discussed during the budget review. Again, that was for reasoning for why we need to do that is in the presentation. Second slide is the municipal budget content. Discussing municipal appropriations, net and estimated non-tax revenues and budgeted use of the fund balance. Explaining that it's always been approximately 20% of the property tax bill. 2023 it was 19.9%, 2024 be approximately 16.7% if approved. Let you guys go through that. I didn't think there was,
My
Go
question,
ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go right
I think
ahead.
we should move on. Where it talks about the municipal budget being voted on today will result in a 0% increase to the mill rate. Isn't that's only if the select board's budget is passed, correct? I think if the budget committee, their proposal using less of the fund balance, the mill rate would go up a little, 1% or 2 or so.
Yeah, right now it's a 0.5%, it's just a
Okay.
projection.
Yeah.
And the school budget's not in here, so whatever they go up, go out, so.
So,
this is
yeah.
approximate.
So we could put it as select board municipal budget as written. That would be fine to do that.
I just think that that's more accurate.
Yep.
Yeah, proposed select board budget.
Yeah, select board municipal budget, yeah. And I could caveat that with, if the budget committee was, budget committee recommendation would be, what, 0.5, Jerry?
0.05, yeah, 0.5%.
You said 0.5 or 5?
0.5%.
0.5%, 0.5, 0.5, okay. Yeah, we can add that in as a line item. Good catch, Josh. So keep going through. Unassigned fund balance ended 2023 at 3.7 million, or roughly 33% of the 2024's total budgeted appropriations. General recommendation is that unassigned fund balance should be between 16 and 20% of the total budget appropriations. So we got a font size issue there. On the next line, 2024 budget is aiming to use $668,000 to help bring the unassigned and fund balance down towards the recommended range.
So there again, I think it should say the select board's recommended budget.
Yeah. Yep, we can put those in there. Yep, perfect. The only thing I thought of on the ARPA funds was to spike out, Jerry, what the 3 projects were that the ARPA funds were gonna cover. I'm not sure that we did that in here anywhere.
No, it's in the warrant article.
It's in the warrant articles. I don't know if it should be in the presentation or just leave it in the warrant.
I'd leave it in the warrant.
Yeah, okay. That was my only question when I went
Just
through the
bullets.
slide earlier, okay. Next slide, the municipal budget. Total municipal budget for 2024 is 4.5 million. The variation from last year was increase of $554,000, which is 13.8%. Less revenues, 3.2 million, based on last year, 813,000, and then the variation is a 33.7%. Total municipal assessment for 2024 is 1.3 million, with a variation to last year's of negative 259,000, which is a negative 16.2% variation from last year. Again, the mill rate and percent increase, decrease are estimates. They will be affected by the education assessment, the town's assessed taxable valuation in 2024, and the amount of overlay when taxes are committed. So these are things that can affect it outside of this budget process. 2024 estimated all-in tax assessment. Again, we have the numbers listed there. Match the budget. We have a municipal budget, as stated in the previous page, 1.39. Education budget of 5.9. County was 742,000. Overlay 0. It gives you a total 2024 estimated assessment of $8 million, over $8 million. Essentially, we come down to a mill rate of 0.011 with the current estimates in place. Mill rate with just the municipal budget is negative 0.684. Overlay is determined when taxes are committed and can be up to 5% of the total required tax levy. Changes there. The listing of all the Durham outstanding bond debt on this slide indicates the bonds that will be coming off the list after 2024 and beyond. So we know the number of bonds that'll age out as time goes forward here in the next few years, next 4 or 5 years. Long-term capital planning, idea of this is to avoid spikes in the taxes in years when expensive equipment purchases or large construction projects are necessary. Helps keep the town from having to borrow or lease and avoids interest costs. Funds and capital reserves consistently based on estimated useful lives of assets against replacement schedule. And it gives flexibility to the town to make purchases and repairs and construction when needed.
So the only thing with that, I think, would be helpful, is if, and it doesn't have to be added, but if you came in and said, you know, this year we're paying $780,349 in bond debt, and if we did, and X amount is principal, X amount is interest, I think that's a better way to show it than just to say it.
Yeah. Joe will be saying it.
Okay.
Yeah,
And it's
but
right in
so-
and it's right in the budget, and I think they'll have it right in there.
The numbers?
You
Yeah.
want, you
It
want me to
shows
spike
it
it
right
out, or?
Well, to me, that's important, that's an important thing, because to me, that's a big selling point for doing it this way, because I think the interest is a hefty number. So, I mean, you don't have to do that.
We could do the total interest here, so at least I say it, so I know what the number is,
Right.
Yeah.
rather than us trying to figure out, or somebody asking the question,
Yeah.
like the total interest we're paying this year, or
It's right,
20.
it's right in the budget.
Okay.
Book. So we'll have it right there with us anyway. It's a good point, because you are talking about an equipment bond, and this is what we're talking about, is purchasing equipment.
So,
Yep.
Okay. So we had Mark go back. I still think we should, it's black. What color did we make this? We probably need to change the background color here, but
It'll be white on the,
that'll be white with black lines, okay,
With
or
on the screen.
multicolor lines. So the flat line there shows, because we have it in black and white, flat line shows I'll say the level funding. But this we pulled it in to show how the spikes hit at the different years, so that can explain how the reserves will help smooth that out. And I'll show you some slides, there's 3 slides in the end that we'll talk, because it shows the cost of living line. So this line would be like a 3% slope to it every year. So we can decide if we want this slide with the flat line, or do we want to show the more realistic line of the 3%. We could throw that in. It's in the back, and the same with Public Works, same thing. Not as jagged of a slope there on the spikes, but still, if you weighted, you'd be coming up with, $500,000 in that third year or second year, so it's still definitely shows, and the building reserves also shows the same thing. If you pop to the back couple slides, there's backup slides there, it shows you that slope. So I was torn on whether to show it flat or whether to show it at the 3%. Which is why he presented them both ways for us. And I threw it in backup in case somebody asks the question, or I could just talk to it and say, this is kind of what we think is gonna happen, the realistic view of it, so nobody gets, nobody catches it. It says next year, hey, you said it was gonna be a flat line, and now it's going up 5% or 2% or whatever the value is at that point. I don't know, I can go either way. I can talk to either slide, and I can talk about it, and we can leave the backup slides in there for everybody. Sometimes I do that with other presentations I do, so I don't care either way.
yeah, I think you should, I think those are
more accurate.
I do, yeah.
All right, that's fine. Let's pull the 3% line up, and I'll show that we're gonna level fund this and follow, cost of living increase per year, and this is how the line looks. That is more accurate, I think, to what more than likely will happen. I think the budget committee's even mentioned that really what you're talking about is a slope, a gradual slope versus I don't know, Rich, what are you thinking?
I'm fine, either way.
Either way,
Yeah.
I can explain it either way. We could even do and leave the two curves in there, back to back, in the regular presentation. Say, here, this is what, now this.
I would do the 3%, because I think that's kind of what our plan is.
Yeah,
right?
I think so,
I
yeah.
think that makes the most sense.
Yep.
Because, I mean, the numbers that are used to estimate the expenses are,
I'm gonna go up anyways, right,
So I
yeah.
think-
Okay, then we'll take the others out, we'll put the 3%
That's what you
lines
wanna
in.
do?
Yep,
Okay.
Yep, that works. Like I say, I could explain it either way. Long-term capital planning, starting balance in 2024, this is the, for the grants matching reserve, the reevaluation reserve, the Eureka capital, fire rescue capital reserve, municipal capital reserve, public works, Union Church restoration fund. So this would be addition to the reserves would be the value shown if everybody votes positively in today's election, or today's warrant articles. Next slide. So the capital, long-term capital planning based on replacement scheduled into a life of asset, public works, the amount set aside annually in the public reserve is scheduled to be $205,000 over the next 9 years, which, based on today's dollars, would be approximately $2 million worth of equipment over the 9 years, which is, the line is showing that, other than the, with the 3% increase, cost of living increase. Amount set aside for the fire department is scheduled to be $180,000 over the next 21 years to replace all fire department equipment. I'm thinking we should change these lines to get rid of the 21 years
Well,
to start this off. Because I don't want to say it's 180 over the next 21 years when it's going to be 180 plus the 3%.
and these numbers are based on the line being flat,
No, I get that. I get that.
okay.
And,
So
well, they're
you won't
based
be
on,
raising
they're based on
205 over the
today's,
next-
they're based on today's dollars extrapolated over the 21 years, yes.
But you won't be raising 205 over the next 9 years, that's what I'm saying.
Right, it'll be more than that.
Right, so we need to, we gotta take that out.
Yeah,
this just made me, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I
Go ahead.
wanted a little change topics just briefly, because I had thought about it, forgot about it, and this brought it back. So, does it make sense, we're voting Article 17 in the warrants is to raise and appropriate $9,543 for the Union Church? And then we're voting again in Article 27 if we want to transfer the church. Should those be back to back? Because are we making?
So one of them is a budget article and another one is a business article. So we, you know, you do it any way you want, but that's why they are where they are now, so.
And I can't remember, were we making, for some reason I had the feeling when I read it, and maybe I'm wrong, that it was sort of the money to the reserve account was conditional on the transfer of the property? And I don't know why I thought that, because I don't know if it's true, but I thought that
there was
from something.
There was no condition that the money was contingent on the transfer of the property.
I didn't think so, but
Yeah.
then I started
No.
having second thoughts, so
Yeah, it is a little,
because, yeah, it just,
I get it.
You thinking they should be together regardless? I could see it both ways. I could see putting them together.
And I mean, I would tell you, my concern is, if we don't transfer the property, I think we're gonna need more than an additional $9,543.
Oh, I agree.
And so, but, you know, that's, I don't, I also, I don't want, I don't know. To me, I thought they should be, because they were related, but it doesn't have to be. And I thought they were, for some reason, I thought they were, like I said, I had started having second thoughts, I thought they might have been contingent. I was going back and forth on that, so I wanted to raise it.
And then we have, sorry, let's see.
But that's a top, we don't have to discuss that now. It was just a question.
Josh, I think you were right, at some point, one was contingent on the other, because if they voted something down, then there was no need to vote on the other. If I
Well,
remember right.
I have this recollection, something was contingent relating to that, but then I couldn't remember exactly, so I was going back and forth, and when I saw the slide, I thought about it, and
I think where the confusion lies is the 9,000. If the town was to vote down giving the historical society the remainder of that balance, for say, with the 9,000 included to get it up to where it was, I think it was 30,000, then you're right, there would be no relevance behind it. So if the town elects not to give the church and the funding, that's where that 9,000 would somewhat become irrelevant.
and then, yeah,
Well, that
You see what I'm
just,
saying? They might give the church, they might not give the funding, they might
Right.
give both. We don't really know that, and I think that's why that one, the cart comes first, even though it's really for the horse down the road. The cart has to come first so we can get that balance up to that amount that they were requesting.
it's the explanatory note, this is where it's coming from, I see, reading
I see what
it,
you're saying.
because it says the monies in the Union Church Restoration Fund would be managed jointly by the Historical Society and the town. But that wouldn't be true unless we approved 27, which is why I thought that one should go back after.
That's true with that note on there, I would agree with that.
That's, thank you.
It's that, I didn't pick up the note, but you're right,
But-
that note
Yes,
says,
but that's,
So-
yes.
but
Sorry.
where is it that we, sorry, maybe I'm
The
missing it
explanatory
here.
note on Article 17.
Yeah, no, I get that, but where is it that we were transferring the entire $30,000 over?
Well,
We didn't, that was a separate article, I thought. Am I missing it, or was it in here?
well, I think Article 17 would do that. Because it would be
Vote,
used
raise, and
by the Durham-
appropriate for the Union to be, oh, okay, all right, it's all in one. To
Right.
be used by the Durham Historical Society, I'm sorry.
And so
missed that.
I think if we don't transfer the property over,
Then you don't give
Then I-
them the right to the money that's even there, the 20,000 that's even there. Yeah, I see
Right.
what you're saying.
so, I mean, if it helps force the hands. That was just something, yeah. So, we don't have to decide that now, but I wanted to raise that as
Yeah, that
an
is
issue.
Yeah.
good point. So we could, if we move that down to, if we, even though it's a budgetary article, if we move that to, or bring 27 up to this area as also, just pull it in here so it's all together.
Or if you took out,
Just to
for me,
finish
if you
the
took
thought.
out to be used by Durham Historical Society in conjunction with town for repairs and maintenance,
Yeah,
and included in Article 27,
that would be the money and the building together.
Yeah, I mean, at least that way the money's, if we don't transfer the property, we're gonna need money in there to do some repairs.
Yeah, but again, it falls back to the town might transfer the property, which they said they would take, but
They might not do the
they
money.
might not do the
So you
money,
think we
so I wouldn't roll, they have to be
It's
somewhat two
separate,
separate questions.
yeah.
So
they
it should be,
do.
it should be like a 27A and 27B sort
Yeah.
of, or
Or
27 and
add one
28.
more amendment.
Yeah,
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 yeah, I think it needs to be,
It needs to be its own separate.
yeah.
yeah.
it
So I would
does.
take out the second part of Article 17 and then add another Article 28.
Yeah, sorry to jump back in there, Jerry, but
No, that's
I think
fine,
it's
just let me,
appropriate. You guys are gonna have to
spell it
excuse me
right
for
out,
1
so
minute.
I know exactly what you,
So on Article 27,
all right.
oh, no, I'm sorry, Article 17,
Yep,
it should say, to see the town will vote to raise and appropriate $9,543 for the Union Church Restoration Reserve,
yeah,
period.
okay, that's it,
Yes,
take the rest of it out.
yes. And then create a new Article 28, so then we now have 39 articles.
Okay, let me make sure I change that to, here on the front page. 39. So then you want Article 39.
No, I would make an article, a new Article 28.
Oh,
We're
so,
gonna
so,
insert.
So insert it after Article 27, I think it is the best.
oh,
place to
so
put it.
there's no more, then there's not 39.
There will be 39.
Oh, I
So-
gotcha,
It's just gonna insert between
yeah.
above 28, so it's gonna be the new 28 and 28. equal
Above,
28
above
equal
28, we're gonna insert,
A new 28.
and so this 28 here is gonna be like 28B.
28.9, or excuse me, that 28 there is gonna be 29 now, and all of them are gonna fall back. You're just gonna
Okay.
insert one.
All right, so, all right. And what do you want 28 to say?
So I'm just gonna talk this through. and
Okay.
I would think to see if the town will vote to authorize the select board to spend the Union Church Restoration Reserve funds in conjunction with the Durham Historical Society for repairs and maintenance of the Union Church.
So to spend, I'd use the word transfer. Because we're gonna be transferring, well, we're
Well,
not transferring to the
transferring.
town, right?
We're
We're gonna keep
we're
it.
spending it, we're
On the
writing the
church.
checks on behalf of the Historic Society.
I don't know where we capture the whole amount, though.
Well, I think,
Because the way I read that, it's just $9,000.
Or indicate the balance of that account.
I think, well, yeah, I mean, I think you could put an explanatory note that says the current balance is X. Article 17, was recommended by the select board of the budget committee to increase that number to 31,175, which was the funds.
Coming from the additional funds of 9,000.
Yeah.
Right, so, yeah, and it explained the reason why we did that was because this is what the funds were in there last year, and we didn't spend the money because we were doing this, and
For a total allocated amount for
up
the
to
repair,
this
for future repairs of the
Union Church.
Union Church of 31X, whatever that
Up
number
to
is.
this based on the town's vote in Article 17.
I'll write it up for you.
Can someone please?
Yeah, Joshua.
Sure.
But I think we're on, I think we're
That
saying
makes-
the
that
same
makes
thing.
sense,
I
yeah.
think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah.
I think we are saying the same thing, actually. It's literally.
Yeah.
It's just, we just need to encompass the whole bodies of money.
Right,
That's
Right.
separately, right. as a
separately but collectively.
Yeah, exactly.
I apologize for going back.
No, it's a
There
good
was-
catch.
There was something there, I
No,
couldn't
I think you're
remember
right.
what it was.
I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think you're right.
Okay,
You'll email it.
I'm gonna try to write it right now.
Oh, perfect.
I'm gonna ignore Joe for a little bit,
All
that's
right,
okay.
because otherwise I'm gonna forget. Forget what we said.
So Jerry, what we have to do on this slide is we probably have to take the 9 years, like the years out of these, just indicating that these budgetary items on this, the Public Works, Fire Department, municipal buildings would be this year 10,000 or 205, 180 and 10.
You just want
And
to
then-
stop it at the number.
And stop it at the number, yeah, and then just indicate that, in today's dollars, we'd be raising approximately the 2 million, say that each of the numbers, leave that as, those second sentences there. That's still accurate, in today's dollars, that's how much it would be. It doesn't include, and then we can add, down in the note that we have down below, these amounts would have to be adjusted every 3 to 5 years to account for inflation costs. I think that's completely accurate. And I think that's completely goes along with the graphs that we're showing the graphs at 3% every year. We may not go up every year. We'll assess this as time moves forward with the budgetary, with the estimates for the equipment.
All right, so what would you like it to say? Because
The amount to set aside annually in the Public Works Reserve is scheduled to be $205,000, period. And we'll do that for all those sentences, right? And then I'll just voice over the fact that you see a cost of, cost of living increase on these numbers as we move forward, as shown in the graphs. Just to give some folks some context of the,
okay, I just take out those
yeah,
years.
I think that makes the point of what we're attempting to do here, and again, to avoid the spikes.
If someone's asked a question where it says set aside annually, if they ask, well, annually, how many years are you, when you say annually, what are you?
Well, I mean, we can, if years come into play,
No,
it's,
make believe I'm in the audience and you just answer,
Yeah,
say,
I-
I see you saying annually, so how many years is that?
right, and each of the graphs indicate various number of years. I think it was
Okay.
9 years on one of them, and we had 21 on the other, and 32 on the, municipal buildings, that's kind of a longer term. I think that's explainable during the meeting if it's asked,
Okay,
all right? I'll think about that overnight, just in case I wordsmith this a tiny bit differently.
okay.
All right, again, this is more for everybody just to know what we're saying, then doesn't have to be etched in stone tonight. Okay, next slide, future challenges and opportunities. Durham Town government finances are in very good shape, but the work continues. Property valuation process, estimated completion date is 2027. We're shooting to have that completed by then. Potential transition from calendar to fiscal budget year is the next big item, along with solid waste. We're working on a long-term plan for solid waste. And then we will be bringing in GP Cog to start assessing the town properties and usage. Town office is certainly an area of concern of growth that's going to come up pretty quick here. And then Eureka Center upgrades also are on the horizon too. That was all I had. Unless there was anything else, I was concerned that there were other things that we've talked about throughout the year that might need further explanation or might come up as a subject. So I just will roll with just about anything that comes at us. I'm just trying to think of anything that might come up that would be extraordinarily hard to answer on the spot, that if we had some backup data that might help explain on the spot versus, and a lot of times I'd rather just take an action item if it's something harder than a quick answer.
I'm not.
Nothing.
Could you give me an example of what you might have? For
some subject that comes up that folks have been a hot topic that maybe,
Like, for example?
like even, I mean, the Union Church has been a hot topic, but that's, I think we've answered all those questions. I'm not sure that's what I mean. I haven't come up with any good examples of, I don't know, any subject that anyone can think of that maybe came up, maybe the Conservation Commission or like the planning, maybe something with the planning, that the planning board's been working on comes up, or the appeals boards come up. Maybe some of the new rulings in the appeals process that would be something that folks want us to go look at, or maybe we should have the answer on, other than what the appeals have already.
You mean for the future or in the past and the last
Just in the
year?
past, just anything that would come up that would be something that, I don't know, like, I couldn't think of anything. I just was asking everybody here if they have any topic that might be something we should do more research on ahead of time before we walk into the meeting. And I wasn't, which is a good thing. It's always a good thing, not coming up with anything, but, okay,
Can I just show you this? Just
Yeah,
look at
sure.
it.
yeah.
Just real quick, Josh, to answer, the original 17, you leaving that in there?
Oh,
as it is?
as we
Just with the
amended it.
period, right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is to take out the paragraph,
right.
The
Yeah.
second part of
the
that.
second part of that, we're gonna take that out, yeah.
Yeah, that's, let me just see what I put next to it, but I think that's more than. Yeah, it's, yeah, I have no problem with that.
And the explanatory note, Jerry can work on it, put more details in it if he thinks, but just,
I'd leave it as a, I would get
And that's gonna be the new 28.
that's the new 28, yep.
Gotcha.
the new nude.
Yeah, that'll be fine, that'll work,
Yeah,
that covers it, thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's nice.
Here,
that.
I'll give that back to him. I'll give it to you after the meeting, just,
Could you sign it, please? No.
it's worth a lot of money, I don't know if you can.
I know, right?
Okay, so if there's nothing else that we need to add to the PowerPoint, if there's anything, other clarifications, we still got a little time to adjust that. And I'll let Heather and Joe take a look at it when they get back, we can always change it at the very end if we need to adjust it. Well, this is only gonna be as a handout during the meeting, Jerry,
The what?
the PowerPoint?
I don't know, I don't.
Or we're just gonna, I'm
Right.
gonna just present it, so,
Yeah.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll let them take a look at it, we'll make these adjustments, and
Are you going first with this PowerPoint presentation? Is
I
that what
was
you're
gonna
doing?
go first.
The only thing, I think if you're gonna go first with a brief overall of what's in here,
Mhm.
then I think, and I could be totally wrong on this, but I think you would add a slide or two in regards to the
Union Church?
nope, sorry. New ordinances.
I thought about that.
Because it is kind of the overlay of the town meeting, right? And
Yeah.
that's gonna be probably one of the bigger, if not
Topics,
most
yeah.
contentious topic
Yeah,
in the town.
we could whip something together for
Sorry
that.
for my,
Nope, that's a good idea. We can come up with something pretty quick on that.
yeah, just
Just
as
a
long as
high,
we have a quick.
just a high level of the other thing that they're gonna
Yeah,
be voting on.
Real high level,
yeah.
anything that's referenced in the town meeting, there should be just a quick, like you
Yeah.
said, high level notation in the beginning opening report, I
Yeah.
would think.
Right. No, that's fine. Okay,
So, Joe, if you could send me in an email what your message.
Yeah, let me go
that
back
you
and
want,
look at
then
the
I'll
ordinances,
insert it in
and
the slide,
that's
and then-
fine, yeah. I'll get you something tomorrow morning. I can,
Yeah.
tomorrow, or by tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
I might have something going in the morning, but,
Yeah, that's fine.
that's fine, yeah.
You
So-
you got time.
I got time. We'll do it
Right.
by Thursday. We'll have it done and
I
then
was
get
gonna
it.
say, you might wanna, solicit slash, recruit the town planner and have him write those particular
Yeah,
ones
we'll
for
have
you.
them, what I'll do is I'll come up with.
Brief synopsis of what,
I mean, they did a.
They did a
survey,
presentation.
right, but I
Right,
would just
yeah.
include
But-
bullet points from that survey in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what I
that's,
do.
yeah,
So George will be in Tuesday, which still gives us time.
yep.
Just a quick bullet point. I mean,
Yeah.
the real
Okay.
meat and potatoes is gonna be in that particular presentation.
Right.
It's just to highlight it,
Yeah, I
what's
know.
coming forth in this meeting.
Right, yep. Let me brush up on that and get you at least a high level cut at it. We'll have George and
Got it, okay.
take a look at it, and we can edit it at the beginning of next week. It'll be good.
John, if you
Or
can.
John, but both of them, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's a good idea. Good, all right. All right, anything else on town meeting PowerPoint, managers report? Jerry, you have anything this evening?
I don't have much. I will say that we have, done the reconfiguration of the office. It's pretty much complete. It's actually going pretty good. Jessica's moved into my old office and has taken over the accounts payable process and is picking it up pretty nicely. And having that space where she can shut the door and concentrate on it, I think, is a benefit to her. So that's good. We still got some clutter that we gotta clean up, just find place for stuff, old stuff that we no longer need, so. That's looking pretty good. Everybody has a desk, no more TV trays, so that's good. Other than that, there's really nothing big. I do wanna say that, I'm gonna go on vacation right after town meeting. So town meeting is April 6th. There's a select board meeting on the 9th. I will be at that meeting, and after that meeting, I'll be out those 2 days in the following week.
Okay.
So other than that, I don't have much. We're all working hard and no big major things to report
Great,
this time.
thanks, Jerry. Have a good vacation.
Well, thanks.
We'll be-
Looking forward to it.
Okay, consent agenda. And what's that? And,
I just say that the.
Oh, I'm
Jessica-
sorry.
Jessica and everybody did a great job at the election 2 weeks, last
skipping
week?
over the board reports.
Last week, and congratulations for not falling down again.
Yes, I noticed you were not using the stage, very good. Yeah, the stage is not needed, so, yeah, great job with that, I agree, thank you.
If I could ask Jerry, and it's not really a report, it was more just an update. I had seen, the guys from Public Work had to do some work on one of the roads, it was pretty heavy washout. Moving forward, I know we got it up and running, and it's,
Yeah,
open.
this is the Auburn Pownell.
The Auburn Pond Road is
Yeah.
open to traffic and stuff like that. Are we just gonna incorporate into that paving schedule this year, or
Are we gonna do what
are we
now?
gonna be repaving that
Yeah,
this year?
that road
Okay.
is actually on the list to be paved from,
That was on the list.
that's
okay.
on the list.
All right,
Yeah.
I just had somebody ask me, so I was just
Yeah.
curious. Thank you.
I mean, Public Works did a nice job turning that around.
did,
It's
very
glad
good.
they did.
That was a big one.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a good washout.
These storms we're having, they're just unprecedented, really. I mean, no one would think. I think Calvin was pretty surprised because there's never been any indication that it would wash out in any other storms, so we're getting a lot of water.
I did notice that all the culverts that have been replaced in the recent years held out really well. I saw that, water was flowing through, a number of them with ease. So
Yeah.
it definitely is helping out with the upgrades we've done.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that, all right, board member reports, anything else to report? Okay, move to the consent agenda,
If we could just clarify that the amendment was to include the appeals board appointment of elevating Byron Philbrick from alternate to full voting member, I would move that we accept the consent agenda.
second,
I'll second that.
Rich seconds, and any further discussion? No, okay, All in favor? Okay. Thank you, Byron, for your service to the appeals board. And then approving the minutes and the AP warrants, payroll warrants. All in favor? Okay. That was, all right. Upcoming meetings, we got select board meeting on 3/26 here at the fire station. Town meeting is on 4/6, coming right up. Planning board meeting on 4/3 at the fire station. Any reason to have an executive session this evening? Okay, seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, Rich, and all in favor, and thank you very much, everybody. Have a good evening.
Nice work.